Hey everyone, how are you doing? It is a really gray and rainy day. I don't know if you can see the sky, but yeah, just a really nasty day today. It's actually warmed up quite a bit. So remember, again, we went from warm to freezing cold, snowing, to now again around 50 something degrees today. So we keep getting these swings in weather, and it just brought a lot of rain with it, unfortunately. So I might not have too much to film today as far as my run, just because it's hard to kind of keep taking everything in and out in the rain. I'm under like a small covering right now. But nonetheless, I just want to clear up for anybody who finds this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the GoPro Enduro Battery and how it's been working for me. This is generally a running vlog. That's what I do on this channel. So this camera right here is a GoPro Hero 10, and I've been testing out the Enduro Battery for quite a while now, actually. I've been using it for this vlog, I've been using it for snowboarding, so I've had a lot of use in both warmer and colder temperatures, also actually a whole day at an indoor go-kart track. So yeah, lots of experience with it. Don't want to take up too much time from my running channel to talk about that anymore, but stick around if you do want to hear just my thoughts and a simple review on the battery. And otherwise, let's get out there and go for a run. So today's an easy day. We've got 5 miles to do for our training plan for the New York City Half Marathon. And this is the start of our second to last week, I think, before the peak. So we've got this week, which ends with an 11-mile long run, and then next week, which ends in a 12-mile long run. So we're almost there, just 5 miles on this Tuesday, and try and have as much fun with it as we can in the rain. This way, the water and rain's going right in my ear. Alright, we're just finishing up our run. Unfortunately, I ran into just about a cat that unfortunately was hit by a car. So that shook me just a second. I didn't expect to see that right in front of me. I'm going to break this into two quick categories: cold weather and anything above, 32 degrees or freezing, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And the first things that I found were, in cold weather, the Enduro battery makes a really big difference. So a couple of the things that I was running into with my original GoPro battery and the battery that GoPro's used for a long time is when it was, 0 degrees and I was out for a run, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, below freezing, below 20 degrees especially, this camera's battery would die probably in the first 10 minutes or so. So, I'd get out there, 10 minutes would go by, maybe 20 minutes would go by if it wasn't completely, down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and the camera would just shut off. It would tell me that there's no battery left and I couldn't turn it back on. So I had to do a lot of the filming on those really, really cold days, or if I was out snowboarding in really, really cold weather. Like, I had to collect everything that I wanted to put into a video in the first 20 minutes. And that changed around drastically with the Enduro battery. So I brought this on a snowboard trip and I was able to film for, at least an hour out in the cold, filming pretty regularly, like pretty much just having the camera recording at all times. Just recently, I had gone out for a run that was my 10-mile run, and that took about an hour and a half or so. The camera was in and out of recording the whole time, but always on nonetheless. And I'd say it was about, 20 to 30 degrees that day. And the battery lasted the whole time, so it didn't have that issue where it quickly dropped off a cliff when it comes to the battery life, like going down to 50% and then just pretty much dying. And it also didn't have the issues where it would just kind of tell you that there's no battery left, even if there was clearly battery percentage left. So the battery worked throughout its full life and certainly lasted much longer, up to, again, an hour and a half, whereas I would have seen some major decreases in performance and just, ultimately shutting the camera off in, 20-degree weather in the past with the original battery. Now, in warmer weather, the battery is a little bit of an improvement, but not necessarily anything to write home about. When I was go-karting recently and I had the camera running for probably about an hour and a half's worth of actually filming, again, indoors, probably 70 degrees inside a mall, essentially, the camera lasted the hour and a half with no problem and had about 30% left. I think that hour and a half doing what I was doing with the previous battery probably would have, eaten the whole thing and it would have went down almost to zero. So there is some increased performance in the battery working in warmer conditions, but your real key takeaway is going to be, if you're someone who uses the battery in cold weather, it's actually going to work for you. Whereas in my experience, the camera just wasn't really functional because the battery was so bad in cold weather. So that was the really big perk for me. And that's definitely why I would use this battery over any other GoPro battery that was available in the past if I was to film in cold weather going forward. So now just popping back over to the running side of things to finish up today's video and today's vlog. It ended up being my 5-mile run, like I mentioned in the beginning. Average pace today was 9:46 per mile, and the goal was really just to get a nice, comfortable, easy run in there. This is the first run, after the 10-mile long run on Sunday, so it's a recovery run essentially before tomorrow's quicker paced workout. The mile breakdowns for today were 10:14, 9:43, 9:47, 9:45, and 9:25. But overall, the heart rate was really low and really controlled today, average of 133 beats per minute. And you can see on your screen that the average per mile, even as I went down into the 940s, was just a really still easy heart rate for me. So definitely a good sign that my heart rate is coming down. A nice sign for me, I think, just in my head, that I'm able to slow down my pacing just a little bit, like I've been talking about for several weeks now. So I was able to really just dial it back, take in the miles. I used the ZoomX Invincible today just to, really use a recovery shoe and something that I think or hoped would slow me down just a little bit more and really help me rest my legs while out working out today. So I think overall that was a big success. So again, that's everything for today. Hope you guys did find the chapters down below helpful if you wanted to skip around different parts. I should probably put chapters in a few more of my videos just in general to help all of you find the parts of the video you actually want to watch. So I'll do that a little bit more going forward. But like I said, this is a running channel. Definitely subscribe down below if you haven't already and that's what you're interested in. If you're just here for the GoPro battery, I hope the little bit of information I can shed some light on helped out. And ultimately, I just hope to see you all in the next video.